What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Eastside Flock. I'm Eric G, and today we are going to be talking about Super Bowl 59, Chiefs versus Eagles, and the dominant display we saw from the Eagles. Man, they put both to ass. Um, and what was a crazy game. We're going to be breaking down the stats. We're going to be talking about Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, their individual performances, what they did well, what they didn't do, and yeah, just my overall thoughts and opinions on the game. So, we had to bring out the green since the Eagles took the W. And yeah, without further ado, let's jump right into it. So, the first thing I want to talk about is the score because, my lord, Eagles came to play, man. They was not fucking around. I posted on my story the score that I want, 50-30 Eagles. The score we gonna get 25-23 Chiefs. And was I close to the right prediction? I mean, 10 points off on the on the Eagles side, man. I remember coming into this game, everybody was talking about, oh, it was point differential really a thing. They had smacked everybody they played at a crazy point differential, and they went into the Super Bowl and said, let me show you that firsthand. Let me give you a little bit of experience of what we've been doing. And I mean, shit, man, that's just this was crazy, just an absolute crazy game to watch. And at when you look at this, in kind of more of a deep dive, right? And you look at the box score, and they came back towards the end. There was something there, it it really was close, um, for about none of this game, and that's the craziest thing because you look at the just kind of the scoring, 24 nothing and a half, but oh, maybe they get six and they get 10 and walk away with it. Nah, it was when we look at this play by play, um, you're gonna see that this was just, I mean, 34-0. Like they just put the dagger. They really just took him out back and said, "Yo, we doing a boxing match," and they didn't miss a punch. Like the Eagles just absolutely smacked them, and I think that this is really the score of the game, 34-0. Like I think there was a lot of stat padding done. You ain't gonna give up, but obviously you ain't gonna get the opportunities that you get at the end of the game when you're up 34-0 that you gonna get in the beginning of the game. So I think that really changed the momentum. And I just feel like they could have got more touchdowns on some of these drives, and kind of just settled for three. Like they wasn't really playing like that. Um, I think that's pretty much the biggest thing to me. When we go to the game stats, I mean, time of possession is huge here. My goodness, I mean, 36-23 on time of possession, first downs, 21-12. Um, Yeah, total yards was pretty close. I mean, for how dominant of a point differential it was, like yards were pretty close. Passing yards, shockingly, um, I was surprised that they had 226. Passing yards, you can't see that's a little cut off, but I mean, when you look at it, 135 rushing yards, like the I think the biggest key here is that they just kind of dominated in every category. Yards per play was the only thing they ain't dominated. Like, they won the turnover battle. They win the turnover battle early. I think is a big thing. When we slide over here, that's huge. Three turnovers. Eagles win the turnover battle early. They get two crucial picks. You know, Jalen Hurts throws an early interception, but it really came down to it. And when we look at kind of the box stats and look at the players, I think it paints kind of a picture, but I think it's a little bit skewed. Um, we look at the Chiefs, solid. 21 attempts, 65% completion, 257 yards, three touchdowns, two big interceptions. They also had the fumble. Um, I think that that's a big part of it is those two interceptions were at crucial points where it changed the outcome of the game. You throw a pick six, um, that you just can't throw. You just can't. You just can't. And Mahomes knows all that. Um, and I just it was surprising. He obviously played better in the second half. Um, but obviously he got kind of a different look. They just really didn't have a rushing attack. The fact that Patrick Mahomes is leading rushing, I think they didn't utilize that enough. Use your run game, run the ball, get the play actions going. I think that like people get so crazy. They're just throwing the ball all the time. You got to pass. You got to like you need to develop the pass game. I think when you look at Jalen Hurts, I mean he just was so efficient. Like boy was just very, very, very smart in everything that he did. Like, I mean, he was just so poised. Throws a pick early. All right, I'm gonna adjust. Throws a deep dagger to Devontae Smith to shuts the game out. Jalen Hurts was just on the entire game. He made a mistake. His defense is able to get him. I mean, they just played as a unit, and I think that's the big thing for the Eagles was that they were so locked on both sides of the ball, and they was a full team. Everybody getting hype. Everybody going crazy. Like they were just a fantastic team. And yeah, they stopped Saquon. Saquon didn't have a game. This is Saquon Barkley right here. I mean, they did that, but I think the Chiefs defense focused too much on that and forgot about everything else they needed to do because that was the only thing they did right. And I think that there was so much like, oh, the Chiefs defense is stopping Saquon and they've done amazing and Spagnola is the best. That shit is bullshit, bro. They put up it's 34 to nothing. Like that defense was out there the entire time. The offense was doing what they needed to do to go and put them in a winning drive, and go and put them in a position where they could go for a dagger and end the game. Like that's just how it is sometimes. And I think that Brady and you know the other dude was just. I feel like they were glazing the Chiefs. It was like, come on, man, like get the dick out your mouth. Like this Philadelphia team came to play. They put belt to ass, and it was amazing. Like that's just sometimes how it goes. And I think one of the biggest things when we switch back to the Chiefs here, where is Travis Kelsey? Receiving, he's got 4 receptions. I mean, really? Like Kelsey didn't show up this game. And you look, I think a big part of it is that he wasn't moving as much as he was. There's that play that's been going viral. I'm not gonna show it here just because I'm not gonna do that to Travis Kelsey. It's a little rude, but he's not really putting in effort in the play. And I think he normally does, but I think that's the thing. There was a lot of frustration, and I think that was a moment of just like, there's a holding penalty. This is gonna get called back. Like that moment of frustration. I think him not showing up, and Travis Kelsey having 4 receptions for 39 yards, and he usually has 100 yards and 5, 6, 7, 8 receptions. It's like that's kind of crazy. And these receptions are all coming at the end of the game. Like he wasn't impactful early. And I think that's a huge part of why Mahomes wasn't able to really pass the ball. Marquise Brown only having 2 receptions. Like this is a big deal. So, Diop having 2 receptions. I believe he had a touchdown too. Yeah, he did have a touchdown. But these guys just weren't able to really get it going. Xavier Worthy had a great game. Um, my goodness, he was really fun to watch, um, and just a legend. I really like Xavier Worthy. Just watching him play in college, the guy is just a dog, and he's fast as hell, and he can make plays. So I think that they have the Chiefs are going in the right direction. I just think that they really just got outplayed in every aspect of this game, and there's nothing you can do when that happens. Um, I just it happens. It happens, and yeah, I think that the Eagles were just a better team, and they proved it. They went out there and said, "We're gonna play our best ball, and we're gonna beat the shit out of you." And sometimes that happens. And you can't really do anything about that. And that's what sometimes I wish would happen for the Ravens. I feel like every game we lose, we shooting ourselves in the foot. Like at least it sucks not to get the 3P, but you've got completely outmatched, and that happens. Um, and the better team won. And I think another big thing when we go to game stats and we see penalties is 8-7. That's a huge thing. I think the game was well officiated, and that was awesome to see because we've seen some horrific ref jobs, and the audacity for them to be like, we make mistakes, but there was definitely crucial calls always going to the Chiefs. You saw it, you can't deny it. Um, do I think that's what got them to the Super Bowl? No, but it's annoying. It's frustrating. So I think that at the end of the day that's what happened, but I think a lot of people have overreacted, and I get it. He didn't get the 3P. Brady's better, but I think that this doesn't completely eliminate Mahomes from being the GOAT, right? What I do think is he's gonna have a hard road to get there, right? You look at kind of the state of the NFL right now. For him to be considered, everybody talking about rings. And I don't personally think that rings are important for a QB to be great, for a QB to be the GOAT, right? Like to me, it's not about that. But to everybody else, you gotta go get those rings. You need to go win as many chips as you can, and he's gotta get 8. He has 3. 5 more sounds not that crazy. He's still young. Um, I think he could do it, but you also gotta remember you're facing Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. Herbert's getting seems to be getting better. Like he's up and down, but there's gonna be a lot of elite quarterbacks in the AFC that you gotta worry about. Stroud's coming into his own. Like you really have to kind of consider that he's not gonna be able to run the AFC like he has been, like the Chiefs have been. I think that teams are gonna start getting over the hump. You can't always be under and never get over it. I think the Bills are gonna get a Super Bowl. I think hopefully the Ravens do too. But yeah, I think it's gonna be hard for him. I don't think that it puts him out of the GOAT debate though. If he gets more rings than Tom Brady, there's a real argument right there that he's better. And I think I get it. Tom Brady's 2-0 versus him. He's prevented him from getting 2 rings already. Um, and he's never gotten blown out. Brady's never gotten blown out in a Super Bowl. Mahomes gets blown out twice. I get it, but I think that at the end of the day, people are gonna just look at the rings. So I don't think it eliminates him. But man, it was a great game to watch. I think that um, both teams um, played their hearts out. I know that it didn't look like that for the Chiefs because they're getting their shit rocked like the entire game, but I think that they showed up and they got outmatched, and sometimes that happens. But I found it very entertaining. I yeah, I personally love the halftime show. I was a huge fan of the halftime show. I was going crazy, but you know I think that all in all, it was a great way to end the season. But yeah, with that being said, baseball season is right around the corner. If you're an Orioles fan, definitely subscribe. We're gonna be talking about Orioles content. And then obviously as the football season comes back, we're gonna be getting into that too. But obviously, I'm about to jump head on into the Orioles, and that's exciting. So yeah, if you ain't subscribed, hit that subscribe button to stay locked in. Leave a comment below on your thoughts on the Super Bowl 59. And if you want to go see, I did post the Tucker video, so my thoughts on that whole situation. If you want to go see that as well, either way, um, I hope everybody has a good rest of your day, evening, night, afternoon, whatever it is. And I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.